And the other one was on United Airlines. I get on the airplane, and they had like 4 stewardesses, and like me and 2 other people. And then she goes, "Oh, I'm just drinking Jack and ginger ale or something." And then by the time I get off, she goes, "Yeah, take all these with you." She gave me like 20 little bottles of Jack. Okay, thank you.
That's good. It's like
Yeah. And I think there was rumors that they were going broke and they're going to get rid of all the flight attendants and something at the time. So she said, "Well, if they're going to take it, well, yeah,
have it.
Take some of the airline with you." That's what their quote was.
Gdayall, and welcome to episode 75, Airplane Food.
Yeah, come fly with me.
That's right. Now, remember, there was a time when we all could fly.
Yeah. Well, we're getting back there.
We're getting back there. So this episode is sort of getting us ready, back in the saddle for it. And we're talking about airplane food. Now, my memory, doesn't matter how long it's been since I've been on a plane.
Yep.
That doesn't leave me. It can be mystery meat in coach or some 3-course delights from the front of the plane.
Yeah. And 3-course from the front of the plane? I mean, the pilot's food?
No, one back, the fancy people.
Oh, for the people that complain so much that the only way they know how to shut you up is to give you, yeah.
And like I said the other week, it's so cruel when they took the curtains between, and I actually saw what I was missing.
Yeah. The leg rest, the openness.
And I saw them come out and they put like little tablecloths.
Oh, and they give you, and also the first time I flew like business class, they come out with the little hot towels. And the only other place that had hot towels was a sushi bar. I said, "Oh, good, we're getting sushi." I know I wasn't getting to get a shave.
No. Well, so we all have some memories, and we're going to talk about some interesting meals when going from point A to point B. And so, how are you today, Phil?
Yeah.
We're having another evening recording.
Yes, which is sometimes better.
That is, it's true. Although we should be serving cocktails, but I'm sorry, I don't have those little can size, and the little
hot dogs and
the little Mr. and Mrs. T's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't drink now.
Why?
Well, play hockey in a while. So,
what if I drove you there?
Yeah, and I still got to get out and back. Yeah. The only time we drink before a hockey game is at a tournament.
Right.
Yeah, because you're drinking all the time.
I was going to say, is that just to cut in a break or as a celebratory sort of thing?
Is it out of a bowling ball?
No, not out of a bowling ball. It's funny. The one time I was in Vegas and they had a California Classic, this guy that puts on these things twice a year, once in Arizona and once in Vegas, a big tournament. And that's his living. Right. So he organizes all the hotels, the rinks, and all that, and makes it like a tournament. Everybody gets a T-shirt. There's in the locker room after the match, there's soft drinks and beer. You'd help yourselves to. And so I didn't have a team to play with. I said, "Look, I'm going to be here. If somebody's missing a player, I'll play." But and I'm on a CD type team. So anyway, he gets me hooked up with these young guys, which is like the worst thing. So I'm out there, and then they're all just starting to show up as the game's starting to begin because they all just got off an airplane and on their way to Vegas, and they all been drinking heavily since they got off the airplane, and they get onto the ice. Have we had squeeze bottles of water and stuff like that.
Yes.
Well, they had it filled with vodka and things. Yeah.
Well,
but nice to be 22 years old and
You'd see them recover, and you'd see them the next day, I'm sure, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, they were.
Just shake it off. Oh gosh. Well, does have to do with airplanes because I came over as an exchange student when I was 16, and so I had so many stops on the way because we stopped everywhere, like Hawaii and Fiji, right? Somewhere at the beginning, after we left the U.S., maybe between the U.S. and Hawaii or Hawaii and Fiji, someone figured out if they asked for a drink, no one was carding any of us. So
because you're international
Yeah,
waters.
that's right. So the 50 exchange students, it's so quick. The word got around so fast.
I remember on those type of journeys there, my mother used to always comment how the fruit was after you left Hawaii, because they always got
Yes, very
reserved,
nice.
and all the new fruit came on all from Hawaii, and it was all fresh and beautiful.
The food is beautiful after that. Well, it doesn't have anything to do with Blaine, but there's a girl named Blaine from Texas, and she was going to a cattle station in the middle and do like radio school.
Yeah.
She was so drunk she was licking her glasses in Sydney. So I don't know how she ended up. Now, today we're going to talk about the good food,
Yes.
some consumer reviews, top 10 airlines who have the best food, and some of our own memories.
Yep.
That's right.
Okay, so we'll divulge right into fun fact number 1.
Yes.
Okay, so the first ever airline meal was served way back in 1919.
I know. I wonder if Orville was, cutting apples in the back.
On a Hardy Page flight from London to Paris. They went, London to Paris.
Yeah, it's a little one.
Yeah, a little one. And typically included some fried chicken. How do they get fried chicken in London or Paris? I mean, that's...
Well, it was cold. I don't know.
Yeah. Fruit salad and elegantly composed sandwiches, probably like a cucumber sandwich.
Yes, probably with a couple of layers, the 3 pieces of bread in it.
Cut off and everything, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And all serving little wicker baskets and lightest chinaware service could find.
It's because every ounce would have made a difference.
Yeah, definitely. Still does.
Yes, it does. Fun fact 2. Several factors on the plane, including background noise, pressurized cabins, and dry air, all suppress your ability to taste sweet and salty food by at least 30%. Airline caterers often modify their recipes to accommodate for the loss of taste, which is sometimes why people get curries. A curry on a plane. I just
no.
I don't mind a curry when I'm sitting in a restaurant having a curry, or at home.
But that's done purposely too.
Yes.
Because they have figured out that they don't want people to get ill or come down with deep vein thrombosis, right? So they give you things on long flights that make you go. So you have to get up and use the facilities.
They really think of everything.
Yep. So they do cater into that and take that in consideration when they're preparing your foods, even though some of them probably would work even without thinking about it.
I was talking to my friend last night, and she said, I said, we're talking about airplane food tomorrow. She goes, I was flying from Dubai. Right. And she goes, and they had a breakfast curry. And she goes, I just couldn't do it that early in the morning after being on a plane that long. She said,
all right. Now, fun fact number 3. Launched in 1969, the Concorde became the was known for high class. You had to need a lot of money to get on it.
Yes.
Very small inside. I've never been on one, but all the pictures and everything, it was tiny.
Right.
But they had the best food, because you were paying for it. So you had like the best champagne, caviar, black truffle, foie gras. You couldn't get it. And lobster with the saffron. That's how we got you heard of the lobster wars?
Have I? I'm not sure. I may have. Tell me.
It was, I think it was between France and Spain.
Oh, no, I haven't heard of that.
Was because France decided to go into Spain, into their territories, to fish out lobster.
How very French of them.
Oui. So, but that was a Jeopardy answer.
That was. Yeah. We should have had Brendan make sure there's a sound effect for that when we're doing this.
He probably he'll patch it in.
Now, when I was in 9th grade, 10th grade, whatever. So we're sitting first day of school in class, already bored because we don't want to be back at school. And the teacher said, "What's everyone done this summer?" I'll go around the room. Or I visited my grandma. I worked a summer job.
I broke my leg.
And there's one girl who I can still see her face right now. I said, "We went on the Concorde to Paris." Just like it was.
Yeah.
And then we did this, and then we came back. I was like, the whole class just turned around and looked at her. But now I'm thinking,
that would have been a
she
lifelong
was eating
experience.
caviar.
Yeah. How long? She's sitting on a mother lap, or they had to buy her a seat.
She would have been I'm sure they could afford it.
Yeah.
I remember the family well. That was the fun part of being in a school that was the only kind of it was Catholic school. It wasn't like a hoity-toity private school, but it was the only private school in a big area. So you got like really wealthy farmers, and then you got the normal people that got in, and it was
Just
so
got to get that good old religion training.
That's exactly right.
And we got fun fact number 4. So American airlines, sorry, not just American, but all airlines, they could save loads of money by reducing weight and reducing costs all at the same time.
Yep.
So I remember one airline, it's a non-food one, where they took off a certain amount of magazines off each flight. And they accumulated to hundreds of thousands of dollars over the whole fleet for the year.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah. But also, you got here that American saved $40,000 a year in 1967 or 87.
Yep.
I don't have my glasses on, if you notice. Getting rid of olives from this salad. Just one olive. Not even a bunch of them. One.
That will do it.
Well, you think of it. If they're serving 100 meals on a flight, that's $100.
Yeah, that's
right.
everything.
So
is
100
heavy.
Olives, if you package them, that's a lot of little cans or a lot of big jars.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So, and then you save it over and over and over again.
And what was it? Delta saved $250,000 a year from shaving just 1 ounce from their steaks.
So it went into minus. Here's your steak. Well, sorry.
There you go. And American also removed a single strawberry from their fruit salad and saved $210,000.
Just think of like Southwest Airlines. You ever been on Southwest?
No.
I fly SLA, .com.au.
No.
Yeah. So they don't give you any food. They give you free beverages.
Yep.
And they have a wicker basket, just like in 1919. They have a wicker basket filled with those little bitty bags of like pretzels and chips and things like that. Nothing with peanuts anymore.
No nuts anymore, yes.
And they just put in one and you take what you want and you passed it back. And you just kept on.
It's like when you got the tests in school, the mimeograph paper. Just back it goes.
You just keep on passing it back. So no sense wasting the airline steward.
No, it's just quick.
They got important things to do.
It's efficient.
Yes.
And so that is a little bit of fun facts and accounting for you.
Mm-hmm. So, this is our break time.
It is.
All right, good. We'll have another break.
Yes.
And we'll be right back.
Just don't make me choose.
Okay, we're back, and we're going to talk about in-flight meals that you actually want to eat.
There are some. I'm someone that actually I always get excited when I don't have to cook something.
Mm-hmm.
So I live in constant hope that the food will be good because I am excited about it, and I do usually eat it because I paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you start.
Okay. Well, first is Alaskan Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
They had a Cascade Brisket Chili. I don't know if that means Cascade beer. No, I doubt it.
Yeah.
So Tom Douglas is one of Seattle's most visible and celebrity chefs. And you are able to purchase his meals on board flights from Seattle of 2.5 hours or longer. And that's one of the flights. And it looks really nice. It's done on a nice crock pot type thing, or what do you call that? A stoneware.
Yep.
And it looks really lovely. And this week, speaking of brisket chili, I read a recipe on Yanks Down Under. Somebody put on there, showed a picture. They made a brisket chili pie, sort of like a meat pie.
Yum.
With chili and brisket inside of it. It looked really good.
Yeah, actually, we're just going to say something because, you can't see us. We printed out the beautiful pictures for us to look at. The next segment, which is obviously the opposite, we haven't because we don't need to see that again.
Yeah.
Now, the next one I want to talk about is Air New Zealand. Now, the best food I ever had was on Air New Zealand.
New Zealand.
And then I got to have my own entertainment by waiting in the lounge there before the next flight, hearing Flight 66. And Brennan and I were giggling like 10-year-olds, like, what are they going to say? So I do apologize.
Sex flight. Yeah.
That's right. People can make fun of me. I understand it. Yes, you were there. I saw you. So they have red wine braised beef with polenta. So it's a long flight. If you're from New Zealand, is made better by chef and economy class menus. So it's not just the people at the pointy end of the plane.
Yeah, they give nice meals to everybody.
Yeah.
Instead of the slop they serve to the people in the back.
Which we'll talk about
Yeah.
later. When you pull off the foil and go, oh, what's under?
Well, I tell you, on the flight, between like I don't know which lockdowns it was, but
Yeah.
our 7-day lockdown that was 3.5 months here.
Yes.
So right before that, I went up to Cairns to go to Port Douglas.
Yep.
And I flew on the business class. Sorry.
That's okay.
You know what the big disappointment was?
What?
They fed me on one of the flights. I forgot it was either going up there or back. A sausage roll. That's what they gave you in business class. Like,
As an
it was a
economy-
nice sausage roll.
Yes, but as an economy class person, I'm just giggling a little bit inside.
Yeah.
It's like
what if you gave me a sausage roll? What are they giving the poor people back there?
nothing.
Nothing.
That's
That's
it.
probably right. Yeah.
Well, now I'm looking at this photo and it's beautiful, beautiful beef that doesn't look dehydrated. Some potatoes in the middle, some lovely bright green beans, and some good bread.
Yeah.
All in their little compartments. I do enjoy
All
that.
separated.
That's it.
Yeah. Now, on the other one is not to be confused with the Australian airline.
That's right. It's
which
different.
is the Austrian Airlines, a Viennese schnitzel.
Yes.
Now, if anybody that's a fan of, what's his name? I can't think of it. Of course, I go Bing. But I'll think of it. Who I watch all the time. The English guy.
Now. No. Rick Stein?
Rick Stein.
You see?
So Rick
I
Stein,
got it.
thank you. He was off in Austria, and he went to one of these places that was famous for their schnitzels.
Mhm.
And if you watch the show and how they make it, and it just looks absolutely
Unreal.
fabulous. Mm.
Well, this one again, now the theme is when it's not Australia or New Zealand at the moment, is for an extra 15 pounds. Economy passengers can, on long haul flights, may pre-order from a menu of gourmet meals.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. Sorry, not pounds, euros. It's not a
Yeah.
good deal, but still better.
Oh, still
You get a choice.
$25 or $30
Yeah, so you
Australian.
get a choice, and you
And-
can even place an order up until the last minute, so 1 hour before departure. You can still get something good in there.
Now, just this caught my mind. On our first thing about the brisket chili.
Mm-hmm.
Now, chili is sort of like it's Tex-Mex.
Yeah,
Well, Jeanette brought home a magazine
right.
from Woolies.
Yep.
Right, and gone through it, and they don't have any more with their celebrity chef in there, which is Jamie.
Mhm.
I don't know what happened to him, so maybe his contract's over, but they usually have a nice section of his stuff in there. And
Yeah.
that's what I was looking for. Anyway, I came across nachos that they featured in there,
We're-
or as we call the nachos.
Nachos.
The nacho. Well, this was nachos done with. Now, you ready for this?
I'm-
They should serve this on any airline. This will get really people going.
That gave me concern.
It's done with cheesy Vegemite.
Ooh,
Like, God,
that's so gross.
how could you put that in there? Mexico should go to war with these
is
people.
An abomination.
Yes. Oh, you heat it up. You put it in hot water and you drizzle it over the nachos. Like, could I slap somebody who
Yes.
put this
See,
on there?
Even Ralphie's upset. That's why
Yes,
he's playing with that
is-
toy. Brendan, if I served you,
I don't understand how they did it. Like,
you
Well,
drizzle it. Drizzle.
They wet it. They sweat it down like in hot water, so it comes like a liquid. And they drizzle it over the nachos. It's how gross.
It is.
God.
Okay.
Oh,
But I can see that on a plane. I hope no one is listening from like Rex Air.
yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. That's what get them all going, mate.
They'll pay for the expensive ones. You can have Vegemite nachos,
Yes,
or you can have a lovely, fillet of
a blooming onion.
kangaroo or whatever.
Yes.
it's probably on Bonza, the new airline.
Oh, Bonza.
Bonza.
Is there an air? Is there? I don't know.
No,
that.
I think they give you
There's
bubble
a
tea on that.
No, the original one called Bonza.
Oh,
Bonza, yeah,
so not Rex anymore. Is it Rex and Bonza?
Yes.
Okay.
All
See,
right.
don't
Well-
say we don't educate people.
I know. Anyway, let's go to Cathay Pacific.
Okay.
Okay, Hong Kong style curry chicken.
You know
And this
how?
is probably better than the curry you had.
Yes, and it looks. Look, it looks lovely. Let me
Mm.
just say a quick second before you continue. It's not covered in goop. Like
No.
you can see the actual meat and the veggies.
Yeah, I
on a
think
bed
it's
of
more like
rice.
fried chicken that has like a sauce over
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
that's exactly what it looks
Yeah.
like. Yes.
And so they give you that steamed rice, a salad, and then Haagen-Dazs ice cream for dessert. Mhm.
Woohoo!
Okay. And also they keep various snacks like hot ramen noodles.
Ramen.
Ramen. Ramen.
Ramen.
Ramen. Yeah, ramen.
Nachos and ramen.
Ramen. Available throughout the flight. So I guess you could eat them hot or you could eat them out of the bag,
Well,
which a lot of people do.
Well, my youngest child, for example.
Yeah.
Just crunchy noodles, she used to call it.
Yeah. Now on Delta.
Good old Delta.
Okay, strawberry frozen yogurt bars. So you get that free in domestic meals on economy. I don't know if they still do that. Class are completely gone from, when they aren't completely gone from Delta's flight. So you get that complimentary sandwich and a frozen yogurt on flights crossing the country. Now, we just spoke before we went back on the air, and one of the best in-flight dinners I have ever had was on Delta going from New York to California. And it was unbelievable.
Okay, what was it?
Well, I remember the confetti duck.
Oh, confit duck?
Yeah, well, confetti in my terms.
Well, that's okay. I'm just,
confita duck.
for the non-New Yorkers, I'm just
Yeah.
translating. It's all right.
Yeah, so it's confetti duck and a few other things. Everything was
That's
just like perfect. Oh, like why can't the other airlines do this?
But where were you sitting, Phil?
In business.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know.
That's
Well, and
okay.
on domestic, it's actually first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you book business, but they don't have business flights on the domestic flights in America.
I have been traveling like by myself on and off since I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard these stories,
Yeah.
these fables of people that just get upgraded. I've heard it.
Oh, you do? I have
never had it happen. My mother got upgraded to premium economy, which God bless her, she should.
Yeah.
And Herman. But never have I been upgraded.
I have probably about 3 or 4 times. First of all, you got to fly alone.
I was.
Second of all, you got to be up in your status points.
I don't have points.
Okay. And that's how you get upgraded. Okay. And you got to be nice.
I am nice as hell.
But you don't have the other things to go with it. Dress, yeah. They would look at that. You don't look like a slob. But one time, because I was doing a lot of flying when my mother was ill, going back and forth to Kansas. And I get there and I'm waiting and the flight's full. And all of a sudden they call my name and say, "Oh, Jesus, here we go. They're going to bump me off the flight." Right? And they said, "Oh, Mr. Return, we're sorry, but we'd have to upgrade you." Oh, okay.
How terrible.
So I went from economy into business. How nice is that on a long haul flight?
Lovely.
Yeah, because of my points and all that. Yeah, we have an extra seat and somebody else wants to buy the other one. That's what they do. So when they're full in any class and there's a room up front and another one, then they'll look for, okay, who can we upgrade? And they go by who's on here has the highest points or like a gold status. And we'll move that person up and let the other person pay for that seat. Yeah, it's easy.
Yes, it is easy, but we just better travel a whole bunch so we can build up the points.
Yeah, that's all. Just got to travel a few times.
Now, Phil, you and I both have flown Hawaiian Airlines.
Yeah, I never had the Loco Moco.
And neither have I. And I would like that.
I know they had a special drink on the flight.
I didn't have that.
I don't know, Hawaii Kai. It was their own concoction. It was really good. And they kept on coming around with it, too, which was even better. It's like in big pitchers. Yeah, have more of this.
Very nice.
It's like a fruity rum drink, if
like
I remember.
Like a punch sort of thing. That would be good.
Hmm.
I had
Aloha.
macadamia nuts. I was very excited. And the food was fine, but I didn't if I knew that was going, I might have just asked if were they doing that. So
but the Loco Moco
Yeah.
is a hamburger patty over steamed rice, topped with gravy, and a sunny side egg on top of it.
Yeah. It is the perfect, evidently, as we talked
very
about
Hawaiian,
it in our Hawaiian food show.
Mm-hmm.
It is evidently a perfect hangover cure.
And the other thing is, I was flying with a bunch of people. We were on a freebie brought to you by the U.S. government doing a buyer's mission, and we were coming back on Hawaii, and it was all had to go through American-based companies, so we had to fly Hawaiian Airlines. And so coming back, we had the option basically of upgrading from economy, because they only fly us in economy, to business. And because if it's empty or whatever, it just goes by a low denominator. So here's your bid. You go on the thing, you sign in, and okay, $250. Bingo, you're now in business.
Now, these are things I'm going to try to
Mm.
manifest. But the interesting thing with Hawaiian Airlines, they're the only U.S. domestic airline still serving complimentary hot meals in economy. And it uses this opportunity to do Hawaiian meals. So that's why
Yeah.
you have.
But most of
the
their
Loco Moco.
domestic flights are 4 hours.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
No, but if you go, it's longer than that if you're going San Francisco to Hawaii.
Yeah, it's 4 hours.
No, it was like 6.
6, that long.
Mhm.
Oh, so there you go.
I did it once. And from now on, anytime anyone complains about an airline
Mhm.
trip longer, I was like, let me tell you something. Try 16.
Well, speaking of upgrades,
Yes.
right. I did a lot of work living in California,
Mm.
living in LA, and doing a lot of work for Kaiser Permanente up in
Yes.
the Bay Area.
Yes.
Okay. And probably flying once a week, once every other week. Okay. And at the time, I think I might have said this, told you the story. United was you buy books
Oh, no. I
for
haven't heard this.
each coupon was $20. Okay. And if you get on the airplane, you could use one coupon to fly on that flight to get upgraded.
Oh.
Okay. So if there was room, here's my $20 coupon. Here it is. You buy them in advance. Boom. You're moved up.
Oh, how
So
cool.
me and my friend that I was working with, Peter.
Yes.
So we get on the flight coming back from Oakland. Okay. Down to, I think we're flying into, not John Wayne. We would have been flying into either Ontario or LAX.
Mhm.
We get on the airplane, and first thing I said was an old 747. Right. 727, sorry. The one with the
Right.
2 engines in the back.
Yeah, you're going to
Yeah.
like getting there.
So I get on, and my elbow was hurting from a previous flight because the seats were awful. And I said, I hope this old so-and-so would, blah, blah, blah. And the stewardess overheard me saying, she didn't catch the whole sentence. She only heard this old so-and-so or whatever. She thought I was talking about her. So, and she goes, what was that? And
did you
then
say?
I realized that, she was, I said, I'm saying, I hurt my elbow on this other old aircraft I was flying on. And I hope this doesn't, and then she realized, okay. And she pampered us. And the whole thing was for that $20 was to be as nice as you can to the flight attendant.
Mhm.
Okay. So you start getting your drinks before you even take off. Okay. And then you want to get that $20 worth, right? And it's only an hour flight.
Yeah, so you got to really,
Yeah.
really get it.
We
Yes.
both were pretty happy when we got off that flight.
Did they allow you to order a couple in a row, or is it
No,
one
she
at a
just
time?
kept on because it's
Just-
only like 6 seats up there. She just kept on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
that. Okay, now
those were the days. Yeah.
back to the show.
Okay.
JetBlue, they have a sirloin sandwich, which looks.
That looks good.
I'm pretty sure that's not what it looks like when you do get it.
Yeah. Be all
um,
smashed. Just
A
like
little
that.
bit smashed, but it's beautiful to look at. Lots of layers. You can see the cheese and the
Mhm.
beef. And so cross-country flights warrant a little something more than a tiny bag of potato chips. JetBlue offers several hearty sandwiches on their routes, which cross-country. One offering is the sirloin sandwich made with top sirloin, steak, red wine caramelized onions,
Mm.
white cheddar, baby spring greens, and a horseradish cream.
So that sounds really good. Very New York because it is a New York airline.
Yeah, and I'm actually hungry now, so
Yeah.
as usual.
And LAN Airlines or LAN.
Yes.
Okay. They get hot ham and cheese breakfast. So how do they do
Like a
this?
toasty.
Oh, it is a toasty. So an economy class breakfast on the Chilean-based LAN Airlines long-haul routes serves a traditional South American breakfast of meats and cheeses to serve as hot ham and cheese sandwich.
Wouldn't that
Sort
be
of like what I
much-
had for lunch today.
Yes.
What would you call that?
A croque monsieur.
A croque monsieur. Yeah, I know. They were saying that. I couldn't understand what they
had
were.
that.
I'm just saying, yeah, that looks good.
But it does look like that.
Mm.
So you describe your sandwich today because this would be similar.
Yeah, so the croque monsieur, the cheese is on top. So it's like a grilled cheese that's not grilled, and a ham and something else in the middle of the sandwich, and then they put it underneath like the whatever with
The
a flank.
grill.
Yeah, the grill. So it melts the cheese from the top down. And a nice little salad, and we'll give the place
Yes.
a little bit of a
it's in-
nudge.
It's the French providore, which I am going to get myself down there too. It's imported French fine food, wholesale, retail, deli cafe, and it's near Moorabbin Station.
Station, yes.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
it's on the corner. Did you think it was Station Street?
Well, it's right off in the Nepean Highway and South Road.
So
And the one down from it, or the one going up
Yep.
towards the Nepean Highway, depending on which way you come, is Station Street. You make a left on Station. It's right there, right off the corner.
So
right next to Kid Gamble Haircuts, barber. That's why I found it. I went to get my whatever left I got here. I had an apprentice do it today too.
And
It looks pretty good, huh? And I didn't pay for it. It was
it was
free.
free.
It was-
Well, no, it doesn't look like it was
It took 45 minutes. But
Every hair is treated individually.
yes.
I did tell Phil the story of Brendan's dad once came home with this haircut that was atrocious, and we just said, I think you said, or someone said, I hope you didn't pay for that. Because it was a $5 haircut. We're all like, yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. Well, this was because he's an apprentice. You don't pay for it. But then, Nathan comes over and double checks his work a few times, and a little bit this, a little bit that, and make sure everything's fine. What do I have to lose? I already lost it.
Right.
Okay.
Next.
Now, one other thing about American Airlines.
Oh, yes, please go back.
Okay.
Yes.
One thing they're famous for.
More legroom?
No. Is chocolate chip cookies
Oh.
on the flights. They give you chocolate chip cookies on certain flights. I don't know if it's up first class, middle class, or everybody.
I can't remember.
But they give you really fresh, like they're warm
cookies.
cookies.
It would have smelled good.
Oh, yes.
We flew American Airlines from Oakland, I think it was, to New York. And it had extra legroom because they took one seat out of the economy. So you didn't quite get squished up completely.
So instead of having 6 inches of legroom, you had 6.5.
That's right. And I felt like a queen.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is some consumer reviews with the food that you don't want to have on a plane. So these are, I will describe the meal, or actually it's
I'm reading
described.
the first one.
Do you want to do the first one?
Well, the first one is Ryanair, the Irish airline. So it's the Irish breakfast they're going to give you. And unfortunately, it's not a 6-pack and potato chips. But they give you a soggy potato waffle, sausage, congealed white pudding. That's like gruel, right?
No, that is like black pudding.
Oh.
So it's like a sausage thing.
Okay.
It's gross, yes.
Well,
like that, it would be gross.
Shriveled mushrooms?
Shriveled mushrooms.
Shriveled, yeah, just like up to. And notorious far from claim that it's a breakfast is perfect option to fill you up and start your day. Yeah, well, you might be filled up and you might have started going to the,
And the picture is horrific.
Why can't they just give you some nice Irish oatmeal?
Yeah, just give us some cornflakes and a spoon and a little thing of milk. Something. They could improve it.
It'll be so much better, and people will be so much happier on those simple breakfasts.
I agree. Because Phil and I have talked about that same. Well, we'll get to it. We'll save it when we get to it.
We'll save that.
So now, British Airways, they had a lovely entree, cod with spinach and pulses. Yeah.
Okay. So the cod was still alive. It was just pulsating.
So this was provided as someone ordered a low lactose meal, right? Unfortunately for them, he was expecting something more appetizing than fish and mush, aka cod with spinach and pulses. The taste of dry cod and steamed spinach was not much to write home about. I had to pick the peppers out and wrap them in spinach at every bite to make it swallowable.
So why didn't you just say, I'm not eating this?
Well, it just...
I have had that on Qantas, and even I was flying, and the lady next to me, we both ordered the same thing. And I looked at her after I took the first bite. She looked at me. Bing. Oh, is there a problem with your meal? you eat it. Yeah, right. Anyway, so
now this one is the one we've talked about. This next one. So Spice Jet, which is an Indian airline, omelet, pale sausages, and a hash brown. It's that same omelet that you can smell sort of cooking, and you go, oh, we're about to land. So I'll go, and that's when I get up and go, I'll brush my hair, brush my teeth, and change my clothes so I can get off the plane. I'm nearly at my destination. Right. And then they bring anemic sausages. They're always like sort of white. Oh. And that omelet that you don't know where it starts and ends. It's just,
And
And-
sometimes you get a side of mushrooms.
And those little, the only thing hot
Yeah.
are the tomatoes that burn your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
if you eat them. And so the incredibly sad looking breakfast, to quote the passenger,
Mhm.
tasted as good as it looked.
So, British Airways,
Mhm.
premium economy,
So
rice.
it should be a bit special.
Yeah, rice with vegetables. So, a celiac.
Celiac for our gluten-free people.
Okay. Oh, I get celiac out of that. Get my glasses. Anyway, it's spelled wrong.
It should be CEO. Should it?
Yeah, and no, there's an E after the C in celiac. Anyway,
I don't know.
So a British Airlines passenger was disappointed with their gluten-free meal, which appears to be 85% rice.
Oh,
There was
that's
no
where they're
meat,
saving the money.
cheese, eggs, or fish, or any other protein. Well, it did said rice with vegetables.
Yeah, but
So-
that's so sad.
Yeah, she described it as disgusting, inedible, tasteless, mushy without flavor. So why'd you eat it? And she was forced to eat a bag of crisps that she bought for herself.
Oh, there you go. Well, a lovely gluten-free meal can be a grilled steak and vegetables.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you had no wheat in it.
And this thing did look like the photo of it. You have the little rectangle thing. It is 3/4 rice, just white rice, nothing on it, and a little scoop of veggies next to it. It was very unappetizing.
Poor person.
Oh,
All right,
no.
now we go from worst to first. So we got to go with the best airlines
Yes.
that Connie Nest or somebody rated.
Now, the panel of experts partnered with 10 best editors to pick the initial nominees, and the top 10 winners were determined by popular vote.
Mhm.
This is the list of best airlines food from 2019.
Okay, so right before the pandemic.
Yeah. So who was flying?
No, right.
Oh,
2019,
it goes
we
all
were
the way
still-
through the end.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
All right. So coming in at number 10.
Yes.
Our favorites, neighbors to the, where are they? West? East. Neighbors to the east.
Yes, because
We're
we're on
the
the
West
east,
Island, according to them.
and they're next to us.
Yeah, and we're the West
Our
Island.
good friends, the
Yep.
New Zealand,
The Air New Zealand. Okay. Coming in at number 9, Qatar. Airways.
Qatar,
Yeah.
which
good
I've
job. How come it just, what
Do-
is it today? I'm mispronouncing
no.
everything.
They've changed the pronunciation because I grew up in school
Yeah.
saying Qatar,
Mhm.
right? And the war years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's Qatar.
Qatar.
So that's the correct way to say it now. So whoever I've offended, I apologize. But Qatar or Qatar Airways,
Number 8, Air France.
oh, it has
Hmm.
to be like that would be good.
They were the last airline that that let you smoke on an airplane. Not that I ever did, but
I so
all the smokers were going on Air France.
What about doing on Air Greece?
No,
Still doing it.
I'm not going near that one. And coming in at number 7, Lufthansa.
Lufthansa.
Like
So
Germans
German.
aren't so, flash with food.
Well, they
other
might be
than
doing
hot
some.
dogs and schnitzel.
They might be doing some
Yeah.
brats,
Mhm.
and that could be good.
And number 6, sort of a local airline here,
Yep.
almost Singapore Airlines.
Yes, I've heard
And
good things.
you always hear good things about Singapore
You
Airlines.
do, and the next one you do too with
Yeah,
the food.
Emirates.
And
And then Japan Airlines.
so Brennan flew on. No, not the next one. So he went to Japan, but he didn't go in Japan.
I've been on Japan, Japan Airlines. We used to, when it's, I don't know if they still do the routing, but if you
Yeah.
go to New York, and they were, if you want to fly like this, they were like really cheap to fly.
Right.
So you fly from Melbourne to Tokyo.
Yes.
You spend overnight. They put you up in their own hotel. You spend overnight in Tokyo, and then you leave the next one to go to New York, which is a nice break.
That is nice.
Coming back, you don't do the same. Come back straight through.
Ugh.
But flying over when you leave New York, you're leaving in daylight, and then flying to Japan, and you're flying over the frozen tundra, everything. You're going up over the world, top of the world, Ma. You're going right up over.
That would be
Really,
amazing.
looking down, it was just it's all white, but. And coming in number 3, Delta,
Which you've had good experience
Mhm.
with.
and number 2, Korean Airlines.
So when you went to Korea, who did you fly with?
Qantas, I think,
Qantas.
or no, Air Asia
Okay.
or Asian Air, whatever they call that one.
And number 1, drum
And
roll.
number 1, drum-da-da, All Nippon Airways.
or all Nippon Airways.
Yeah. Nippon.
And Brendan flew that one, and he doesn't have any memories one way or the other because he was going to work and he was tired.
Yeah, going to sleep and missing all the food.
That's it. That is absolutely it. So there we go.
All right. So now we got to go down a memory lane.
Well, this is, yes, reminiscing, which we've done a little bit of.
Yeah.
But what are some of the most, now, because you have been at the back of the plane and the front of the plane and all around, what is some of the best and worst that you've had? You've mentioned your...
Yeah, well, I mentioned the best was probably on that Delta flight.
Yeah.
And probably the worst I've had flying it, on the business class would have been on a Qantas flight.
Right.
Menu by, I probably talked about Neil Perry. And taking a piece of veal, a very delicate piece of meat, and then killing it with whatever sauce they put on it that you could not taste the meat. Why even bother? You could have put it on cardboard. Anyway, that was my worst.
And you and Jeanette like to do a bit of train travel.
Yeah, train's interesting. So we've been on Amtrak and we've been on the Canadian Rail also.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So Amtrak, it's like, it's like a canteen food.
Right.
Okay. The bit we went on. So we didn't do any overnight ones where you probably would have got more of a proper meal. But it's more of you go to the dining car. They still have dining cars and you go there and they have a little guy that works at this little canteen thing and you order what you want and they come get it. And I think in some of them, when you do have a compartment, they'll bring you order your food and they'll bring it to you.
Oh, nice. Nice. So
but it's nothing spectacular, but it's edible.
Yeah.
And then where are we going? On the train journey from Montreal to Quebec City, that was quite nice. The food was quite nice, very French style food. Yeah.
Funny thing I found out just today, minutes before you arrived.
Ooh.
I was looking at plane food and people were saying, what can I bring on the plane? Because now you see a whole lot of people, especially I always saw families on the 11 o'clock flight out of LA going to Australia. There'd be families with, bags of food.
Yeah, for the kids.
Yeah, for the kids. And they said, what can you bring on? And this is 2019. No, actually, let me take this back because 2019 is for there. 2021 was the list of airlines.
Oh, okay.
So that's who's flying. Because it was in the middle of COVID. That's why I was going, I'm wrong. But 2019, you could bring, the TSA said on their Instagram page, you could bring pizza. You can't bring a hot dog. You can't bring, but they had a hashtag, the pie can fly. So you could bring your own pizza.
Yep.
They wanted it wrapped nicely, not like with
so
the
to go through your security, so they could microwave or microwave.
They could see what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't hide anything in a pizza.
No, that's true. It's flat, especially if you get deep dish, you might have an issue with.
Yeah.
But
so don't bring the Chicago style.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. I can't bring 100 mils of water, but I can bring a family-sized pepperoni. And the worst meals I ever had, but the best airfare was Continental. Back in the old days.
This is Continental. Can I help you?
Visiting Brendan. I could get.
That's right. They used to fly to Australia.
Yeah. And I could get a flight under $1,000. So I would do it. And I'd think, this isn't that bad until they brought. You didn't even get a tray. You did not get a tray. They just chucked the hot rectangular container with the foil on it.
Right.
And they didn't even ask what you wanted.
No,
it was just like, here you go.
Good luck.
And it was exactly like that. And I went, oh, that's why it's like this in the I get it now.
Yeah.
Especially when they didn't even have food to give us one time when we were flying, and there was before your own iPad or your Walkman. Oh, I had a Walkman. That's all I had. The whole entertainment system went down.
Oh God!
So it was like,
but they used to have
16 hours of silence.
Yeah, I remember that. But they had like a projector TV.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was like,
yeah. Oh, that was horrible.
It was horrible, and that was the only food that I probably didn't look forward to. But I was getting nothing else, so I did eat it.
Yeah. And if you wanted to bring your own music, it would have been the little Walkman.
I did. I had my Walkman.
Yeah, and then the tape gets all tangled up. And
yeah, and you have to click, and you could hear people on the plane going click and flipping it over and back. And we used to remember all the, like, they would set up the back of the plane or in the middle, the different sections where you'd have free snacks.
Yeah, they still do that on the long-term flights. Oh,
no.
no?
Not in recent years with me.
Oh.
No.
Sorry.
Well, they might have in your area.
Yeah.
But, you'd walk back and then they used to change it. So you go, earlier on, there'd be some cookies and stuff. Oh, that's nice. You might stand there and have a chat, but you can't do anymore. But then later on in the evening, you go down there and they have like complimentary socks and eye covers and stuff. And like, if you didn't
look
know
like Dorothy Kilgallen. Remember her?
Yes.
On What's My Line?
Yes.
They said to put the little eye things on them.
The little question mark things on it. And you would sit there and but if you didn't know about it and you just sat in your seat, you'd miss out.
Oh yeah, you had to get up.
Yeah, and those are the days when you could. Before that, you could still have.
I remember even
peanuts.
going on an airplane one time, and they had that, serve yourself with alcohol back there.
Now the gentleman to my left has quite an experience with that. Because what was it? You're flying over to visit me to come to my graduation, and wasn't the other ones? And you met up with some other people other Australians.
I think they're from overseas as well.
Right.
We were ripping it up.
Yeah, they were drinking beer and they were putting beer in their cornflakes.
Oh, why not?
I just want to say, we were drinking, you're crossing time zones.
Yeah.
We're drinking beer.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we're going through the night. But then next thing you know, they're serving the breakfast.
Yeah.
So you've got a can of beer here and you've got a bowl of cornflakes here. It's like people waking up going, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it was just how the day rolled into the night or the night rolled into the day.
Yeah. Day becomes the night, night becomes the day.
The good days back then.
And then you have here about remembering the free snacks.
That's it.
That was it. Well, I told
it?
you the one that we were off air, right? That was off air?
Yes, you did tell it.
So on Southwest Airlines, okay, we used to get, well, they probably still do.
Oh, no, you did. Would they pass it back?
Pass it back, yeah.
I've never seen that. And I've flown some interesting airlines, but I have never seen that one.
I like here. Who picks the fish?
Yeah, who picks the fish? When they go around, they go, chicken or fish? Pasta or beef? Who picks the fish?
The poor person at the end.
And that's usually me. I'm the poor bastard at the end. Yeah. And you're sitting there and I'm going,
oh, we're all out of pasta. We're all out of beef. Oh, we got fish for you.
And I'm spending the whole time going, okay, it's looking good. All right, there's a green lid. There's a red lid. Okay, wait. And then it's always 3 rows before me.
Yeah.
Always. And the guy will go, what I want. Exactly like, I'll have the beef. She goes, I'm sorry, we're out of the beef. Just pasta now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, every time. It's mush. And then,
tastes like Chef Boyardee, right?
Well, and in the old days, in the smoking section at the back of the plane,
yeah,
they used to still, like, people, you'd get your food, and then people would still smoke.
Yeah.
And you just go, are you right? Like, I already can't taste anything, but that is the worst.
Yeah. And it's also bumpier in the back of the plane.
Oh, yeah. I try not to get those, but often when we would decide to see each other, it'd be like, right, we'll go. Let me get a ticket today.
Yeah.
And there was not a lot of planning. So I got where I could get, and that was it.
And then you have here the great attendant that gave us champagne.
Yes. Well, we're flying back with Mackenzie, who was 2. So Brendan was doing the Olympics here. And I said, well, if you're going to Sydney for a month, I'm going to go see my mother. Yeah. So Kenzie and I got on the plane, and she had her 2nd birthday over there. Mm-hmm. The whole story of her sitting on my lap on the way over, I won't get into because that's a whole different plane story. Long time. And Mom, Brendan came over after the Olympics, and Mom watched Kenzie. We went to New York, had this great trip. And on the way back, we're all tired. Brendan hadn't flown with the toddler before. Mm-hmm. So we're sitting there, and she was really good. She was really good. And he would come over. He's a great attendant. He'd come over and chat with her for a minute. And at the end of he made her a toy. He melted 2 cups together with the wings that he'd give you in it and shake it for her. And then at the end, he gave us a bottle of champagne from the pointy end and said, you 2 deserve this. And also we had on our first flight, as a married couple, so I cried all the way over. I loved him, but, I left everyone. Tom Burlinson was on our flight, the man from Snowy River.
Oh, okay.
Who was still really world famous in 91. And I watched him. He was only across. He didn't go to the bathroom that whole flight.
Oh,
I was like, he's got like a super bladder. Where are you going to go? He just sat, and they brought him a bottle of champagne. And that's when I went, hey, someone special. Oh, it's Tom Berlin's. I spent the whole time kind of trying not to look at him.
but you did.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, the 2 flights I got free booze on that I could remember, and I did more than once. I've gotten a bottle of wine, but usually it's like on the last flight, and it's coming back from Cairns here,
yeah.
and it wasn't all that crowded. But I was just chatting with the stewardess, and saying, "Oh, it's like 2 years since I've been on an airplane, which is a long time because of COVID." Blah blah blah. And I probably was the only one drinking the Riesling or whatever I was drinking at the time. We're actually going up there.
Yeah.
And so she opened a bottle, and if one was finished, and she opened up another one, that was like the last drink, and it was just to top off my glass. So by the time we're ready to go, she says, "Yeah, take this with you."
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely.
It was a nice bottle of wine. Looked it up, and it was like, a $42 bottle of wine.
Well, that's good that you were getting that in the first
Yes.
place, let alone you got it.
And the other one was on United Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
What a stuff up coming back from Kansas, and bumped off. Tried to call Qantas. And I tried to call Qantas before I got to, because we got laid up in Denver,
Mm-hmm.
right? And to tell them I'm not going to make your flight.
Yeah.
Forget it. Blah blah. Being a good Samaritan, right? So anyway, long story short, but on that, so they scheduled me like the next day out of Denver, and the flight I was like the only person on the flight. We had to get the airplane from there to the other place, and well, you got to get there, so get on. I get on the airplane, and they had like 4 stewardesses, like me and 2 other people, and then she goes, "Oh, I'm just drinking Jack and
Yeah.
ginger ale or something." And then by the time I get off, she goes, "Yeah, take all these with you." She gave me like 20 little bottles of Jack. Okay, thank you.
That's good. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have anyone giving me.
And I
little
think there
bottles of
was rumors that they were going broke, and they're going to get rid of all the flight attendants and something at the time. So she said, "Well, if they're
Well,
going to take it, well, yeah,
you have it.
take some of the airline with you." That's what their quote was.
Well, I got on this plane as it was pre-married, and so the woman and her husband get on the plane. She sits in the window. She immediately puts a blanket over. We haven't even taken off. She opens the safety thing and just closes it, puts it back. Eye shades on, leaning against it. Her husband was in the middle, and I'm on the aisle. And then he was chatty. He just wanted to talk, and I had my headphone. I was like, okay. Anyway, breakfast comes around, and he's just we've made friends now,
Right.
and he's just looking over, and then he goes, "Are you going to eat your bacon?"
Hey, did he put his hands in it yet?
I like, I'm going to eat my bacon. Now, if he was smart, he would have ordered his wife's breakfast and just eaten it.
Yeah.
And she would have slept through it. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, that was my favorite thing. And my mother and I, because we get excited by special trips and foods and things, so we always usually try to make a deal with the first attendant that comes.
Yeah.
No matter what, wake me up.
Mhm.
If it's a snack or a meal, just slide it in front of me because I
Yeah.
don't want to miss it.
I want to miss the meal. I'm paying for it. I want to eat it. I want to eat it. Even if I don't eat it, I want to look at it. Okay, well, that takes us past our memories.
Yeah,
what
we
we
go.
had left of them, and and we'll come back with the final segment. Okay, we're back, and we're going to fit in a little pop culture to go with airlines.
That's right, because Brendan remembered a few things, and he's
Yep.
right.
Mhm.
So
Which I'd never seen the movie, so
Okay, well,
except for Airplane, which is pop culture, and that was a great.
yeah, it's like, surely you can't be serious.
Don't call me Shirley.
And the other good one was Snakes on a Plane, which we can't quote anything because Samuel Jackson's in it. But there is a movie, Denzel Washington, I think it's called Flight, and he played a pilot. And it's one of the few ones where he's a bad guy.
Mhm.
So he is a functioning alcoholic who's a pilot. You know, everyone, sort of
This
Foster
is
Brooks. The modern day Foster Brooks. So in one of the beginning
Is this
of
for
it,
Aeroflot Airlines?
at the beginning of the movie, he's talking to the hostess, and he's sort of doing a little magic trick. He's looking at her eye to eye, and then he's sneaking his arm. He's leaning against the wall, and he's getting into where the liquor is held, and he gets in 2 bottles of vodka, the little travel ones,
Yeah.
and he cracks them open, crack, and there's a plastic cup because he's where the in the kitchen. So she turns around to do something, and he pours them into the cup. So she thinks he's drinking water. In the meantime, he saves the plane, but they investigate him, and they find that there's 2 bottles of vodka missing. And there you go. So there's a little pop culture, but no food.
Okay.
All funny.
Well, now it's time for to get the vacuum out and some housekeeping.
That is correct.
Okay, so the code for the month to get all your goodies is, since we're in the month of March
That's
now,
right.
is March Madness.
Or just madness.
Madness, yes.
Madness. But it's March. Use the
Yeah.
word madness.
Yeah,
Yes.
Madness.
And on the USA Foods website, click on the listener discount logo and you can access those discounts. The store is open 7 days a week for your shopping convenience. You can check our website for our hours. Please subscribe, share, and engage with the podcast at podcast@usafoods.com.au. And if you subscribe that on however you listen to us, Apple, Spotify, whatever, that really helps us out and lets other people find us as well.
Okay, now we're going to go to the Sean Superstore Special.
That is
For 1 week
right.
only, Wednesday the 2nd of March to Tuesday the 8th of March. No code required.
That is right.
Okay, so we're going to start off with that Pretzel Pete range. So you get the Pretzel Pete range that usually $3.99. Now they're going to be only $2.99. Salted caramel, smoky barbecue, and cheese pizza flavors.
And they are yummy. They are a staff favorite. The next thing we have.
Oh, my favorite.
Oh, yeah, mine too. Hostess Cinnamon Streusel coffee cakes in a 2-pack.
Yeah, and they just came in, all nice and fresh.
Oh, they are
Yeah,
magnificent.
in fact, we ate 1 3/4, and I'll have the other quarter later.
That's exactly right. Ralphie was fighting for it, but there's no chance he was getting any scraps of that.
Yep. And so the regularly $3.99 down to $2.99. Save $1.
And our entire range of Mrs. Fields cookies. So from $2.99 down to $1.99, and we've got milk chocolate chip, white chunk macadamia, oatmeal raisin with walnuts, white fudge brownie cookie, and dark chocolate oatmeal.
Lots of different ones.
Oh, yes.
And they're all good. And they're all individually wrapped. So they go in your lunch pail or
Or
on the road or traveling on the airplane.
That's right. If you're afraid of one of those meals we talked about,
Yes.
you can pick up some of these, just stick them in your bag, and no one will be hurt.
Okay, now your personal best this week, Barbara.
Okay,
Now you were undecided.
I was between 2, so I'm going to save my. You know what? It's my 2 dads.
Oh, you
The
did
2.
that.
So slap your mama for Herman, but I will go back to
Okay.
that another time. We got in the Johnny's French dip au jus.
And it comes in a little,
Yes,
what do you call that?
it's a little jug.
Little jug. Yeah. You put
it's-
whiskey in after you finish with it.
That's right. 8 fluid ounces. Now we often get the au jus mix in a packet, but this is so you can just heat this up and use it because I miss French dip sandwiches. That is one sandwich
Yep.
that's
Very
not around.
Californian.
Well, it is. And I remember my dad used to pick me up the last day of term or of the quarter, and he would pick me up from school. He'd be in his suit. And there's my dad.
Yeah.
It was so cool because I didn't get to see him like that. And he would take me to the Tracy Inn, and I would have a French dip sandwich and a Shirley Temple.
Oh.
Yes, and Dad would have one as well. So it's a beautiful roast beef sandwich, and you just dip it in this
Dip
gorgeous.
the whole thing in.
Yeah, in
All
this.
soggy and everything.
Oh, it's fantastic. So you know, it's a really there's recipes everywhere for it. It's a wonderful childhood memory for me. It's convenient because it's already mixed for you, and it just made me smile when I saw it in the
Yep.
store.
And mine, you don't have anything here for me, but mine is, was just mentioned before, the coffee cakes,
Oh,
the
my
Hostess, and it's just, it smells just so good. Even out of packet, smells good. Cinnamony, it reminds me of New York. It's just, and they're soft. The only thing I would do to them, sometimes I put a little margarine on them too, and that makes it easier to pick up the crumbs.
I like your practicality.
Yeah, that could be my nugget too.
That could be your
All right, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Okay, bye, Phil.
Okay. All right, so we're going to get into the knowledge nuggets. This is where, and we ask all you to contribute any nuggets that you have. So these are things that you do in the kitchen or around the kitchen to make things easier, or a little trick that you have up your sleeve that you want to share.
And this week we're working together.
Yes, because you mentioned I didn't have anything ready to go other than what I just said. And so you mentioned yours, which is?
Well, it's about cooking shrimp, and I came across it this
Or
week.
prawns, as we call them over here.
Yes. Those little crustaceans. So, they cook quickly. So the idea is they go pink and they're done. But if you let them sit too long and cook too long, they actually curl up into an O, right? Mm-hmm. And when you do that, it toughens it. So it's already toughened and overcooked. Yeah. So what you're looking for when you're cooking your shrimp, you want to take them out when they become a C. You want just a curve. Yeah. You do not want
a pericomo C.
Pericomo C. So that is the knowledge nugget. That's how you can tell when your shrimp are done.
And when you told me that, I came up with something I do all the time. So if I'm making a bowl of pasta and I got the water running and it's bubbling along and the pasta's just about done, like only another minute to go.
Yep.
Okay. I would, like a lot of times, I like mixing things into my pasta. So whether it be, shrimp or say some cut up broccoli or green beans and pasta sauce, like red pasta sauce, goes fabulous. I would put them in at that last minute into the boiling water and cook it all together. Then strain it all out. It's already done. You didn't even dirty another pot. You didn't have to wait for it to boil.
That's even another nugget. Not dirtying another pot.
Not dirtying it. And it was all done. You toss it in, then toss into, if you're doing like, say, with the shrimp, olive oil and some garlic and just toss it around, a little parsley and some cheese, you're done. Or, if you're doing a red sauce, just toss it back into the red sauce.
Beautiful.
It's all done.
There you go. So we should all have some shrimp pasta this week.
Especially it's starting. We're getting a few colder days now, so it's pasta time. It's
It's nice sleeping when it's colder.
It's like, remember that I don't know if you had the Prince macaroni. I never had Prince macaroni, but the advertisements were all over New York television.
I know.
And it used to be Anthony. Oh, it's Prince Macaroni Day. Yeah.
I've never seen that, but I bet we find that
lady
on YouTube.
yelling out the window, Anthony.
Does it sound like the neighborhood? Now, Phil, bit of excitement this week.
Excitement.
We've got a new segment.
Oh, we got goss.
Yes, we do.
This is going to be our. I know it's going to be all the time now. Or
we have something interesting.
We have something interesting. So when we find out something that you don't know, we'll let you know.
That's right.
So we got goss. So this week is...
Well, it is PepsiCo, Joan Crawford's old company. I'm just...
So is this the new one with the coat hangers?
No, it's not. But Wednesday... So Pepsi announced Wednesday. It's first of its kind.
This is Pepsi US.
Yes.
Not to be confused with
Pepsi.
Pepsi.
So if you want it, you probably have to wait for us to bring it to you.
Yes.
Which we would do as quickly as we could get our hands on it. Wednesday is the first of a kind nitrogen-infused cola that has a creamier, smoother taste.
And it just says nitro on it.
Nitro
burning methane.
And
Raceway Park, Englishtown, New Jersey.
And there'll be people buying
Saturday.
Can you stand in front of the fridge when we do get it and do that? I want to film that. Now, it has a smoother taste compared to traditional carbonated sodas. The beverage is called Nitro. It's being released in the U.S. on March 28th, so not too long. And it's going to come in regular Pepsi and vanilla flavors.
So I would imagine the vanilla flavor will taste sort of like an egg cream.
Oh, that would be good.
Because it's the little tablet that they put in there. If anybody has bought a can of Guinness, it's the same thing.
Yeah, they're using the widget.
Yeah, a widget. Widget's something you open a can with.
It spins around.
Okay.
So they took a leaf out of Guinness's book, so that's not bad. And you're not supposed to. It's supposed to. People who don't like heavily carbonated drinks will like this.
It comes creamy.
It's
like they should do a root beer like this.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? If you're listening,
there goes the creamy mug. When they advertise the creamy mug of root beer, you put this thing in there, that'll be a creamy head.
Oh my God! Let's send who owns
A&W? Dr. Pepper Company. Dr. Pepper the coffee thing, the Keurig, or what do they call those things? The Keurig?
I don't know.
The K cups.
Oh, Keurig.
Keurig.
That is
What a
it.
stupid name, Keurig. It's
It
like
is-
Monzalay. How would you name a company Monzalay? You know?
I feel like, you know what I feel like? I feel like I'm in WKRP in Cincinnati, and I'm Les, and I'm trying to get back to the story.
Okay, Sorry.
No, I do love it. This is part of it that I enjoy. So now when you pour it, you're not going to use a straw, and you're going to pour it out, and it's going to have a head like a Guinness. So they first announced it in 2019, and it's aimed to attract new drinkers. It's a huge leap forward in the cola category, and will redefine cola for years to come. That is, if it's successful, we hope it is. This is the latest entrant into soda shelves. As young people's interest in them have been on the decline.
Yeah. I also read recently that Coke is coming back with espresso Coke. Coke with coffee in it.
Because that was so good.
We had that here, and that was just so good. Yeah. So
I was going to say, and speaking of Coke, they released a new flavor called Starlight, which is a mysterious tasting soda inspired by space. I saw someone try it. It tastes like cotton candy. But, how many flavors can you make?
Good to make. Exactly.
And speaking of Coke and the coffee flavor, Starbucks uses the same technology to make their cold brew, like nitro infused, but they do it out of a tap in their stores.
So the cold coffee,
cold brew. So the young people, which I am so sad I'm not part of anymore. They're like looking.
You're not in the Pepsi generation.
I am not. Well, the Pepsi. They're not. I'm in the old Pepsi generation. So I'm so happy that you've told us about
the nitro burning methane
and the Coke espresso. That was amazing.
Yes.
And have we checked? This is for Giovanni, the New York soda, the special.
Giovanni. Yeah, because we can't get it anymore from the other clown, but we got to find the guy out in Houston or in New Orleans. He might be able to get it for us because he's on the East Coast.
Yeah, so let's try not to forget that. Let's see. We're thinking of our people all the time.
Yeah, which is Manhattan Special, which is a carbonated, highly sweetened, and highly caffeinated. I mean, you drink that and it's like having 6 shots of espresso.
Yeah, it looks at Jolt Cola and just sticks its tongue out at it.
It's been around since, I think, 18-something.
Yeah.
But it's been around forever in New York. It's been a New York classic, finding in Florida, of course.
That's where they're hoarding it in Florida. Now.
And it's still family owned.
Oh, wow. See, now we need to look into this because I do enjoy it. Now, next week's show.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's an Aussie has infiltrated us.
Oh, God.
Several of them at work.
Yes.
But this one, we're going to talk to next week.
Okay. You're not going to tell me who?
Well, no, it's an Aussie among us.
Okay.
It's a she.
It's a she.
And she's involved in some new stuff at the moment. But we're not going to tell her what the show's called because it's a surprise.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Well, it's the mystery show next week.
That's right. It's going to be funny because she's funny. And I think I think we're going to get grilled.
Ooh, we challenge her all the time. What are they talking about?
Barbara, I don't understand that. I'm like...
Yeah, we have to have an interpreter.
That's right. So that's usually my job sometimes. And now, Phil, do you want to do the quote?
No, it's a lady. Dane.
Well, I think it's Dane. Brendan has written Dame, but I'm pretty sure
Not
it's
like
Dane.
Like Dane, like a Dane.
Like a Dane.
But or Dane like in...
Like a horse.
Well, someone that was on a plane once said this.
Okay.
Do you want to do it or you want me to?
You can do it.
Okay. Airline
I
food.
screwed up enough already tonight.
Okay. That's right. Next week, glasses. Or, you know what we have? Instead of a swear jar, we're going to have a glasses jar.
Okay.
Okay.
I should just bring an old pair of glasses and leave them here.
Leave them here. That's right. Okay. Airline food is not intended for human consumption. It's intended as a form of light or in-flight entertainment, wherein the object is to guess what it is, starting with broad categories such as mineral and linoleum.
Okay, well, that takes us to that wrap. And we'll keep on looking for that nitro burning methane Pepsi Cola.
See y'all next week.
Yep.